guys, it's Dan from Generation Productions. Now, part of my fossil series, but also part of a question that someone actually asked me from my Generation Productions Facebook group have actually asked me. What do I think happened to the dinosaurs? Now, a lot of people are probably going to think I'm crazy for this theory, but to be honest, I think my theory actually holds a lot more ground than what some people think. What some people think it might not. Okay, first of all, I want to start off. I am a Christian, and so I sort of more lean towards the Noah and the flood theory. Simple reason because when you go through the fossil record, most of all the fossils have actually been submerged in water. Example, here we go, like this T-Rex here, it got submerged in water, then it was buried under layers of soot and mud and stuff, and then it was actually dug up by the paleontologists or found open like that later on, which is still quite rare. So, the question comes to, why do I think the flood theory works? Well, like I said, the rapid process of the flood. Most of all the dinosaurs, as you can see from that little illustration, that all of them are found, almost pretty much every fossil has been discovered, has been found in like basically this whole point of being submerged in water. Doesn't some of you people find that funny? That the whole fossils all fossils have been found submerged in water. From dinosaurs to birds to the water dinosaurs, everything has been found in, well, basically basically how fossils are formed has been put down in water. So, and the reason why I say it's a rapid process, and it didn't take millions of years as some people claimed, is because of this. The Ichthyosaurus giving birth. Now, if the Ichthyosaurus here was given birth, this incredible fossil of an ichthyosaur buried and fossilized while giving birth is clear evidence that they basically have been buried quickly. Waterborne sediments fossil record is consistent with creatures have been buried suddenly. Otherwise, most creatures would either rot or be devoured by scavengers. And that was a comment made by Dr. Kent Hovland. I don't know if he's a creationist or something. I have no idea. Sorry, people. Just a bit dusty around here. Probably from me smelling those fossils. But pretty much more or less. He's a creationist. So, more or less, but the creationists do have a point. If the fossils were, if the fossils took millions of years to form and stuff, like we've seen in this other little picture, if it took millions of years for that to happen, a lot of the, the fish and the other things would eat away all the flesh, and even some of these bones would actually, instead of being like this, or like this over here, instead of being like a little bit more close together in the same area, a lot of predatory animals would actually pick that up in their mouths and carry off with it. You see that with sharks. You see that with octopuses. You see that with crabs. They actually pick up and take bits and pieces away. So when you get full-formed fossils, it makes you wonder that it was a rapid process. Yes, some of the dinosaur bones are still a bit fragmented, but then again, here's another fact, people. Back when they were doing fossils originally, they would use a stick of dynamite. Yeah, people. They would use like a stick of dynamite, and just go whoo, and throw it, or actually stick it, like put a little hole, stick it inside like a rock, like so, whoop, and then they just light it up. They run and blow the fossils out of the actual rock. So a lot of the fossils that have been broken up and stuff have been damaged from people actually blasting them out of the rock. But thank God that paleontologists now, and some scientists, paleontologists and trying to think of it, archaeologists now, because both sides, paleontologists and archaeologists, dig up dinosaurs now and then, but mainly archaeologists do it by accident, because they're basically supposed to be digging up historical stuff like pots and things, and more historical references, whereas paleontologists mainly dig up fossils. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. But anyway, I'm trying to get off topic. So basically, I reckon the fossils were buried rapidly. And like I said, again, it shows the flood, okay? The fact is that all the dinosaurs were actually submersed in water. And if they were not buried rapidly, a lot of other predatory animals would come along and eat those bones or eat those things. I've got a perfect example of this when at my house I have some rats that come around, and I do have some ants that I drop out some food for, and they drop out, like I said, I drop some food out there for the animals, and they come along and eat it and cart all the food away. Most predatory animals do that. Once the killer's been made, or the animal is dead that's nearby, they cart pieces off. You see that with lions and things too. Like some parts of the meat, they actually take one big chunk and then they take off with it. That happens. A lot of animals do that. They take slithers of the animal. They don't take the whole. Sometimes they don't take the whole entire carcass. Sometimes they do. But in some cases, they don't take the whole entire carcass and they leave pieces scattered out. So, having complete fossils goes to show that it was a rapid process, people. It wasn't like, they were covered in mud rapidly. So it wasn't like, it took a million years for that to happen, or billion years for that, billion years for that to happen. It just doesn't work. Because of the rapid burial process, as seen in the fossil record. Now, we come to the stories. Now, what do I think happened to the dinosaurs? Now, if I'm going by the creationists and also go by the biblical account, which is also in the Jewish traditions and a few other traditions as well, and yeah, that's right. Here's another thing, people. A few other traditions as well, such as the Aboriginal cultures and stuff like that here in Australia, and maybe even some of the African traditions, I don't know, but a lot of traditions also tell a story of a great flood. So there we go. There's also evidence there from people's account as well, from passed down from generation to generation, not just from the Jewish people and the Bible, but also from other people around the world. So please go and look that up. But like I said, let's get back to dinosaurs. So if like Ken Ham stated, which I'm not going to go full on with Ken Ham, okay? Some of his theories are a bit kooky, I will admit, but he stated in a theory that maybe some of the dinosaurs actually made it on the Ark. Now, if some dinosaurs did in fact make it on the Ark, along with a few other species of animals, probably, I'm just going to put it out there, maybe 18 to maybe 25 species could have fitted in the Ark. I'm just going, just a random estimate out of my head, don't quote me on that. People go look up how many animals could actually probably fit in an Ark, and I mean like a barge-like Ark, like a triangular box Ark, not the little tiny ship boat that some people see. I'm talking about a long ship. I suppose we probably could compare it to the Titanic, I suppose. I don't know. But something that long, how many animals can actually fit inside that ship? But, like I said, I'm getting off topic. Sorry, well, it is on topic, but it's off topic. But, okay, let's try and get back to these dinosaurs. Sorry, people, I'm just a little bit scatterbrained. Okay, back to this thing. So if some dinosaurs did make it on this Ark and survive the flood, how could that happen? Also, another part of the thing is about this whole thing is that the reason why I don't like the meteor theory too is we're supposed to have birds, crocodiles, sharks, some other species of animals that were supposed to be our ancestors, like rats and things, that were supposed to have developed into mammals and developed into various other species after the comet hit. But here's the thing, if the comet hit, it would throw up a dust cloud, and it would cause massive devastation on the Earth, on a grand scale, and pretty much probably about 90% of the Earth's population would be gone extinct. So if that is the case, then there'd probably be no animals to continue that ancestor link. I mean, it's just common sense, people. It just doesn't make sense about this whole theory about evolution and the whole theory of ancestors and stuff, and the comet theory. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I'm going to go with the flood theory. And like I said, back to this thing about Noah. So if dinosaurs made it onto the thing, what could have happened to them? Okay, people. Well, here we go. I have a theory that a lot of the dragon myths and legends and folklore are actually about surviving dinosaurs. Now, this is also partly a creationist theory as well, but it's also, I still hold this theory as well. And so, the reason why I say that is because, check this out, we have dinosaur stories from Asia, Albanian, American, Chinese, Babylonian, Indian, Tibetan, Indonesian, basically the Jewish version. By the way, that Jewish version, I think Leviathan was actually more like a giant sea snake, or a giant, like a snake, like a python, or a anaconda kind of thing. But that's neither here nor there. Japanese dragons, Kilma dragon, Korean, Persian, the Philippine, Sumatran, Turkey, Vietnamese, and it pretty much goes into a bit of a repeat. So, people go check that out on Wikipedia, list of lizards and dragons. So, basically what my theory is, people, that a lot of these people had actually seen something. And since, see, it's not just the fact of, look, if it was just a silly story thrown around a campfire or something, then why is it, well, it doesn't seem like the same story being told over and over again. A lot of different people have seen these kind of animals, these giant reptilian animals. Now, am I saying there's a big giant dragons out there going, and blowing up things with atomic breath like Godzilla, or fire breath like in some of the dragon stories? No, I'm not saying that at all. I feel like that could be an exaggeration. But the way I see it is that the last surviving dinosaurs could have been hunted down by men. You know, some of these dinosaurs, like rhinos and elephants of today, they walk into farm areas and stomp down things and trample things and cause a lot of trouble for farmers. So what do the farmers do? They go out and either try and chase off the animals, or they have to eventually kill those animals. So I think that also would apply to dinosaurs. If dinosaurs were still alive in some of these areas, a lot of these people, like these farmers and stuff, would have to get rid of these dinosaurs, so they'd actually chase them, and they'd have to shoot them, and they'd have to kill them to get them away from those things. And so that's what I reckon happened, people. A lot of the dinosaurs, the surviving dinosaurs, were actually hunted and killed by men. So I reckon a lot of the extinction of the main dinosaurs was from the flood and also from man hunting. But there is a but. The but is there could be some dinosaurs surviving today, and where I go to for some of that theory is from the cryptozoologists, and again also maybe a little bit of the creationists, but a lot of cryptozoologists. And also, there's also another part too. I just also looked up on Google as well. It states that 65% of the Earth is unexplored. The extent of human impact on the water and ecosystems is impressive. Still, we've only mapped 5% of the world's seafloor in any detail, and excluding dry land. That leaves about 65% of the Earth is unexplored. So there you go, people. About 65% of the Earth is unexplored. And if that's the case, then there could be some dinosaurs still hidden out there in the Amazon and in the Africa, and maybe even in some of the parts of Asia, like up in the Mongolian mountains or something. I still feel that that's where some of these animals could still be hiding. If there is still dinosaurs alive today, I reckon that's where they would be hiding, in some of the things. And same thing with the Marina Trench, that deep trench. There's a possibility that could be some prehistoric animals still hiding down there. Who knows? But yeah, and also why I say some of the possibility of some extinct animals still being found today is we have the coelacanth and the frilled shark. So yeah, people, it really goes into shows, and also some of the other living fossils as well. So it goes to show that a lot of the animals that are supposedly gone extinct can still show up. Example of that also would be like yabbies and crayfish. Some of them have been fossilised and they show up as well. Okay, now let's get down into the final run. Okay, so this is what this is from a cryptozoological page. People go check that out. And here we go. Some of the some people believe are some of the modern dinosaurs. Yes, this is an outdated version. I do apologise, but as you can see, though, something similar to this is what actually shows up sometimes, like the Mokele Membe. Then we have another dinosaur called Milu. I think that's pronounced right. Milibigu. And that's supposed to be like a Kentosaurus or a Stegosaurus type dinosaur. Then we have Nigama Monani, and that's supposed to be like a Spinosaurus type looking dinosaur, or Baryonyx. Yeah, Spinosaurus or Baryonyx looking dinosaur that showed up. And then we have the Elema Ningugumada. I don't know what that one is. Again, I think that's probably another one that's supposed to be, like I said, like a Spinosaur or a Baryonyx looking thing. And then we have the sorry people, Nigalabungable. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, people, but there we go. And this dinosaur is basically what some people believe is a rhinoceros, but the accounts also show that it looks a bit like a Styracosaurus. And also, a shout out to one of the other narrow-minded fools on YouTube, Dr. Polar. He thought that this statue here was of the Mokele Membe. No, that was of the Ningalamingano. Basically, the Styracosaurus-looking dinosaur that's there. And as you can see, the ears look like an elephant. Basically, it's like the frill of the like a Styracosaurus, and the nose, and the giant tail. Now, from a different angle. There we go. Now, excuse me, people. I want to say, even if there was a possibility this was actually just an elephant or a rhinoceros, I don't see no rhinoceros or elephant with a giant tail like that. Okay, so yeah. So even if it is possible, people, that the Milaningano is a elephant or a rhinoceros, the problem is it's got a giant tail. Now, could an elephant or a rhinoceros grow a giant tail like that? I don't know. It probably would be a funny thing to say. Probably be a funny thing to say. But it would be interesting to see if an elephant or a rhinoceros could actually grow a tail like that. It'd be interesting. But for the point of the story, I believe that is actually a representation of like a triceratops, ceratopsian. So there we go, people. So a bit of a rundown. It's, to me, I still think it could be possible there might be some small dinosaurs out there in the wild, but then again, even then, if that's not the case, we still have birds that basically resemble dinosaurs. Now, I'm not going to say they evolved into dinosaurs, birds evolved from dinosaurs, or dinosaurs evolved into birds, or whatever. I'm not going to say that, but what I'm going to say is that they do seem to have a representation of that. And to me, when you see so many animals with so many different, so many vast species of animals with many different things, like the vertebrates, they have the backbone, and the invertebrates that don't have a backbone. But a lot of the animals still have like arms, legs, and things. And to me, that just goes to point that this whole thing is done by one creator, and that creator is God. And the reason why I say it's a God thing, because think about it, it's like a car manufacturer, like Holden or Ford or Dodge. You know those companies by their cars, and even if they branch off into like lawn mowers or other various machinery, you still know that it's done by those people. There's some things that are common amongst those companies, and that same thing goes for God. When He made animals and made man, there's a lot of things that are common amongst those things. So that's just my thing, peoples. My strong belief is that God exists, and my strong belief is that the flood happened, and a lot of my theory is that all that stuff happened like that. And that's just my theory, peoples. But everyone can believe what they want, but that's just my theory, and that's what I stick by. Okay, well, thank you very much, people, for watching, and stay safe, and God bless all of you, and feel free to come back and check out my videos again. Okay, later, people. Bye.